when did you fall in love with like women in hip hop?
And that song that you just heard was Charge It by Any. Have you ever heard this song before?
Yeah, so I heard it on TikTok. Did you see it on
Really?
TikTok? No?
No.
Yeah,
That's
I
so
saw
crazy.
yeah, I saw it on TikTok and it just reminded me of like, I don't know, some like type of groovy 70s type of
Mm-hmm.
song. But it was
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, your like next favorite girl group or whatever. Because it was like all the musicians in the back were like women
Yeah.
led musicians. So
I
yeah.
didn't see this TikTok. That's crazy. I saw it because there was this tweet that was going viral about essentially saying how like women like female rappers right now are, really taking over, and like there really is no debate about that. Like I think the tweet says something along those lines. So of
Mm,
course I went through it. I'm like, is there anybody here, or is there anything here that I haven't heard, or anybody that I don't really know of?
hmm.
And this song came up and I was like, damn, like I really fuck with this. Like it's a vibe. I like her flow. I think
Feels very
she
summery.
it's summer. That's the thing too. It's like a summer, like oops, what's that? Sorry. It's like a summer vibe, but like also she was just spit. Like I
Hmm.
mean, just like, and I remember her from having that song that went viral a couple years ago with Georgia Smith, the Pink Black Girls. Do you remember
Okay,
that
so
one?
so this is the same girl because I was like,
It's
oh,
her.
maybe I'm like confusing like British rappers or whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so that makes sense. That makes sense because I was like, this is the same type of flow. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, it's that's her. It's the same person. But I really like this song. Definitely
Yeah.
like we'll be adding it to our playlist, our music rec playlist. So obviously make sure you follow us on Spotify so you can hear all of our music recs, the ones that are available on Spotify.
Hmm.
But hi everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Where My Girls At. It has been so long since we
Yeah, it's been
recorded.
a
Do you
minute.
realize that?
Yeah.
And I'm realizing now, like as I was going back and I was editing the episodes, how much like we were recording so far in advance in April that like shit we were saying was going to happen would
Yeah.
happen before the episode came out. And
I
so by
love
the
that.
time the episode came out in April, I was
Hmm.
like, "Oh my god, we were just talking about that."
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I was like, "But wait, the episode doesn't come out until Friday." Like but we had to rework some things. We had to change the schedule around a little bit because I went on vacation.
Yeah. How
And
was
I
that?
just, oh my god, it was amazing.
You're in
Um
Aruba,
I
right?
went to Aruba. It was incredible. I wish I was still tan from it.
Hmm.
It was just like the beaches were beautiful. I got to spend time with my family, which was, fun,
Hmm.
and not annoying. I got like drunk like with my
Fair.
grandma and my aunties and my like that's crazy to
Yeah.
me, and my little brother like, and we were
No,
like
that's
getting,
great.
but it was a good time and it was like very well needed. And speaking of any, my next vacation is to London. So I'm very
Oh,
excited because
okay.
I've never been there. So if you hear this and you're from London or you've been to London, girl, send me Rex. Like, what do I do? I've never been to London.
No, it should be
But that's what
fun.
I've been up to. I've been back for like a week now, and I'm like, oh, I hate it. Like I forgot, like
Sobering reality.
the
Yeah.
reality just fucking sets in, and I'm like, oh fuck, yeah,
Yeah, I got you.
I gotta go to work. What about you? What have you been up to?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think. What have I been up to? Been working, secured another job, so I'm very happy about that.
Period.
Yeah,
Yay!
ain't really leave, but I'm back. I'm back.
Exactly.
So been
That's what's
mostly,
up.
yeah, mostly been working, and then I just came back from New York. Went to go visit my childhood best friend who was on the show, Alicia. So
Oh
it's her
yes.
birthday. By the time this episode drops, she will be 26. So happy early birthday!
Happy
Um,
birthday!
but yeah,
Yay!
we were hanging out in the city, running around, just like getting to meet her New York friends and like I don't know, just have a good time and celebrate her. The tourist season. I'm really close with a lot of tourists, so
Yeah.
yeah, it was nice to celebrate her.
I love that. I'm out of town, thugging with my rounds. I love that song so much. It's so stupid.
It's so stupid, and it really makes you think you could say anything on a track, though.
Anything.
As long as you got a nice little beat.
Did you see Summer Walker brought her out at, during her set at Okay, so Summer Walker performed at the Something in the Water festival, Pharrell's music festival or whatever. Yeah. And she's like, I have a special guest to bring out. And it's fucking Sexy Red coming out with like spraying people with a water gun, doing like throwing money on the stage, doing like death drops and like doing cartwheels and shit. I said, this is how you are supposed to come and perform, okay?
Especially with that song, yeah.
If you're not coming with this energy, stay the fuck home, okay? I want to see everybody live up to that shit. I'm going to post it on our Twitter. So you can see if you're listening to this, if you haven't seen it already, because that shit was like it was so funny. It just made me smile because you know what? And she just actually was featured. We'll talk about it, but but it's just like good for her. Like that's just song is so fucking ridiculous. And I just can't stop singing.
I know, it's bad. It's really bad.
Okay, should we get into some hot topics?
Yeah, let's get into it. Where do you want to start?
Actually, let's just start with some good stuff. Okay. Queen Latifah is going to be the first female rapper added to the Library of Congress's National Recording Registry for her debut album, All Hail the Queen. They said her album showed rap could cross genres, including reggae, hip-hop, house, and jazz, while also opening opportunities for other female rappers. And period.
Period. I was like, period. That's all you had to say. That's all you had to say.
Duh. They don't call her fucking Queen Latifah for nothing, bitch. Yeah. Like, what do you mean? Duh. And if you don't know, what the Library of Congress's National Recording Registry is, it's basically this is how we preserve things that are culturally significant. So that if in, I don't know, say 1,000 years, somebody finds this, they'll find in the Library of Congress Queen Latifah's album to be like, yeah, she was that bitch, okay? Right. And this is where everything came from with that genre. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm, so I think that's incredible. I love that.
It's a really cool moment for hip hop for sure.
What do you think will be another one that's added to it? See, now I have to, because you know what? I'm thinking now that I'm reading this, I didn't even Google which other albums were in it, but she's the only female. She's the first. She won't be the last. Yeah, I know that for sure. But she's the first female rapper to be added to this. Whose album do you think you would add to the Library of Congress's National Recording Registry?
The first one that's coming to mind is the Pink Print. I feel
really?
That would be the next one. No, yeah,
that would be the next one. That's your next one. That's interesting.
I feel like that would be I guess encapsulate the early, or 2010s type of era. I feel like that would be a blueprint for the predecessors after
right.
Minaj. So
right.
I feel like that would be next. What about you?
Yeah, for me, I would think I'm gonna start. Okay, Lil Kim, hardcore. Definitely. Definitely gonna do the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Oh,
that's definitely gonna go in there.
100%.
I definitely Missy Elliott. I feel like you could do any of them, but probably
that is so true.
I don't even know which one of Missy Elliott's albums should go in there. I think
I would have definitely said Lauryn Hill though. That's a good one.
That's a good one, and I actually, when I read this, I was quite surprised that it isn't already.
There, yeah.
but good for her, you know. And I think I think, like you said, it just opens the door for there to be other female rappers who get added to this, because, if we're being honest, they are the most culturally significant right now. We say this all the time.
Right, y'all are just catching up.
Catch up, okay? Catch up, okay? We've been here. Been saying this. Been here. Okay. Mona Leo is pregnant at 22.
So her Coachella performance of her singing "We Not Humping," fully pregnant,
like visibly very fucking pregnant. Talking about put that dick up, we not humping. Girl, who are you talking to?
Like what, bro?
Who are you talking to?
Belly like bouncing just a little bit. So I'm like, girl, this is comedy. This is comedy.
She's so fucking skinny. But you know what? If she's happy, I mean, I can't be mad at it. I think 22 is way too young to be having kids. But look, she's rich. She seems like she's very happy with this man. He seems like he treats her well.
Do you know who this is? Her like
he's like a rapper, right?
Oh, is it Stunner for Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh, she's still with him? Okay.
I know, right? But hey, you know what?
Hey.
I can't be mad.
Get that Drisky meme? All right.
Listen.
All right. Cool. If you like it, you love it.
If you like it, I love it. I feel a way about pregnancy in general, but you know what? I'm very happy for her.
Yeah, we're happy for her.
Moving on, Trina had a Tiny Desk performance. Mm-hmm. And people were hating on this. Do you know? Like, really? People were being very like, yeah, they were like hating on this. Like, oh, I thought Tiny Desk was for musicians and vocalists. Like, what? Why would Trina be able to? I said, excuse me?
Excuse me?
Excuse me? The baddest bitch? And you're doubting her? The baddest bitch. But what did you think of it?
No, I thought it was nice. So what I love about Tiny Desk, obviously, is that it provides like an intimate setting between like an artist and like a small crowd. And I think it's also a cool way to hear like your favorite tracks in a different way. So it's a way for them to like get creative. So I thought it was cool because it was just like the instrumentals that I guess she would typically use, like obviously like a DJ would have it in the back, but it was cool to hear it acoustically,
right?
Because it was just a different way to absorb the music. So I like
it. I also think I agree, like that was what was very interesting to hear, but also to hear the songs acoustically, but also what a performer, you know what I mean? And I think this is something we said time and time again about how Trina gets overlooked. But there's something about her. There's a quality about her that's very, you know, that is of the work ethic that rappers had in like the early 2000s and the 90s of just being able to perform. Right. And Trina can perform, okay? Like she can put on a show. She has the hits. She has the catalog. And just to watch her like be able to perform that album live, I think it made me have an even greater appreciation for her as an artist, because you can hear so much of the, like, you know, the Miami sound of the funk. You can hear like it's so much becomes so clear when you have a live band and live accompaniments playing this shit. So I loved it. I feel like Trina is getting her due, like getting her flowers in a way that she hasn't. And I fucking love that, because it's beyond time. It's beyond time for that shit.
No, totally. But like we said, everybody's catching up now.
Catch up, mustards. Moving on to the next thing. Carrie Foe is releasing a new album May 26th. It's called Real Bitches Don't Die, period. And Gangsta Boo is going to be featured on. What do you think about that?
Okay, cool. I hadn't really looked at the track list like that, but you know, I'm always excited for some new music, especially like it's getting hotter outside.
Hell yeah!
We're gonna need some new music to get crunk to. So I'm more excited just to have like new music, period. And I can't wait till we get to go down the list of like the new music.
Oh yeah. Okay. Another really good thing, and this is what I love to see from her. I don't want none of the antics. I don't want none of the lies. I just want the music. Asian Doll has officially signed. Asian Doll has officially signed to a major record label. So she talked about this on her, she posted on Instagram. So this is what she says. She says, "Oh yeah, and I will be the face of the company I'm signing to. I've been holding the secret in so long while so much was going on around me. I watched motherfuckers switch up on me or give up, but all of that had happened for this dramatic change in my life. I'm finally ready for it all. I want to be number one, sell millions of records, tour across the world. I'm finally able to do it all and go on big every time. I'm no longer alone, and I have a team and a company behind me and in front of me this is my year. It's my time. I'm grateful. She used the wrong grateful, but you know what? I'm gonna let it
Stop it. Stop it.
So
Stop
she's signed with Self-Made SME Entertainment. I've never heard of this.
I haven't heard of that.
I've never heard of this label. Actually, I probably should have looked it up to see like who the F is like who else is signed to this? Like I don't fucking know. The point is, I'm happy for her.
No, I'm happy for her too. I think obviously the pros of being able to sign to a label is that you have the machine behind you, right? Of people who are going to be able to help her take her career to the next level. Like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully this is her year. Obviously rooting for the girls.
Always rooting for her. And who knows what the fuck is going to happen.
Who knows what's going to happen, but maybe they'll be able to like, smooth some of the edges and make sure she gets to this point where she wants to be.
Yeah, and I think she has the talent. Like Asian Doll
for sure.
It's not that she's not talented, it's that she's a pathological liar. Like she just be lying about she will tell you, "Oh yeah, the sky is blue." And you'd be like, "You know what? I just need to step outside and see for myself because it might be some other shit today because all that bitch do is lie." Yeah. That's why when she said this, I was like, wait until the announcement is made.
It's official.
And then we can, then maybe we can be happy for you. But I'm very happy for her. I just want things to go right for Asian Doll. It just seems like she's always embroiled in some fucking stupid ass mess. And it's funny, sure, but on the other hand, like, god damn, someone's so talented. Like, come the fuck on.
No, for real.
Somebody that talented should not be in that much mess. So good for her.
Let's see.
What else? Okay, so there's a ton of new stuff. Let's talk about Lotto first.
Listen, I don't know why, but I've just become an increasingly been more of a fan of Lotto the past couple of weeks. Like,
really?
I think it's because of her Coachella performances. Like, I think she just did an incredible job. She brought the girls onto stage.
Yep.
She dropped new music.
Yep.
Like, she's just on a run right now. Like, I feel like, I don't know, she's really hot right now.
Yeah. And I think one of the reasons that she is she hired Tiana Taylor as her creative director. How fucking crazy is that like, to have Tiana Taylor, who's been in this industry like pretty much her entire life, and has like worked with some giants and have picked up everything and is like an incredible artist in her own right, an incredible dancer, an incredible creative in her own right, now on your team. This bitch cannot be stopped. Okay? She just can't. She just can't. And she had this little spat with Coil where she had said something, one of her lines is like, "Oh, blunt biggest Coil or something like that." And then Koi, like, she heard it, she didn't like it. So she was like, she tweeted some things. She's like, "Let's fight." Then she said, like, "Lotto, bye. Here you go talking about my body. Please do not come in here talking about nobody body. LOL. Like, seriously, out of all things, LMAO. You blunt my size. This shit is never ending. These bitches want to be niggas so bad. Y'all want to have rap beef so bad." And she's not wrong. She's like, if you don't like me, support me, or fuck with me, don't mention my name. Period. Shit don't make sense. I don't know none of you bitches in real life. Stay in your lane and leave me out of the bullshit. I'll be minding my business and showing real love offline. Lotto, thank God, did not respond on Twitter. I was deeply shocked.
Yeah. I was like
deeply shocked.
I didn't even think it was that deep though.
It wasn't. Thank you. It was not that deep.
I didn't even think it was that deep.
It was not that deep.
She made a joke about Lola Brooks in her own song.
Exactly. It was not that deep, but also then she got on stage when she performed it the second weekend at Coachella and was like, like, "I love you, Koi." Like, it was never any beef. There was never any disrespect. And Koi was like, "Okay, maybe I overreacted." And that's growth even on her part.
You're right.
That's growth even on her part. She was like, "You know what? It's all love. Maybe I overreacted." And that's like, I love to see that because like a year ago, these bitches would have been going at it.
Scrambling.
On Twitter. And we would have been hearing about some teams fighting backstage at Coachella. Right. But look at the way that they've grown as artists. Growth. And we love to see growth.
Maturity.
But Lotto is killing it. She has new music out, new music video. She's back on tour with Lizzo. She's out there putting on a show. I'm talking choreo,
No,
like,
for real.
Like, it's
then
like
in the studio, the dance studio, the booth.
My God,
I don't know.
How can you hate on a bitch like that?
No, honestly, I'm like really excited for her. I feel like she's gonna do something like big during the summer. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm excited to hear it. Okay, let's talk about Doja, who she just constantly is always stressing me the fuck out. Like, I don't know if she's trolling us or if like she's actually being fucking for real. I really don't know. Yeah. Like, so she's had a couple of covers come out. She's had a couple of campaigns come out. Essentially, she's locked in. Like, it's album time, it's go time, it's rap. Like, everybody who's been talking about how they've been here and they said, oh, this bitch is like rapping on the album. And you know, like, she's like, I want to get into like clothing design. She wants to do this. Tomorrow she's gonna make her Met Gala debut. Like, Doja is also gearing up for a return. But I want to talk about something. Since when is she not a rapper?
Right, exactly. I think people think that because of what is it, Planet Her was probably more of a poppy album. So,
but we could talk about pop rappers releasing pop albums and still being called rappers. So I don't get that. Like, why are people doubting that I could name off the top of my head like 10 different songs where she's out rapping somebody on the fucking, like, it's crazy to me because Planet Her wasn't exclusively pop. It was a lot of things. It was a lot of things. But it's crazy that people have ever doubted her skills as a rapper. Because all she does is constantly prove what she can do as a rapper. And so for her, but you know what? Whatever. I don't give a fuck. I want to hear Hellmouth. Because one thing about Doja Cat, she's gonna release a hit.
Oh yeah, for sure. At least a couple of them.
A couple of them, okay? Right. And we're gonna have some songs of the summer, the competition. It's heating up. I feel like we already have some contenders, but remember, we make the final choice. All right? The final decision is ours.
That's up to us.
Okay. Let's talk about Ice Spice.
Ooh.
Okay.
What are you gonna say?
I don't know how I feel about this. So, Ice Spice, I don't even know what this means, and I gotta be honest, I don't know what this means.
Yeah.
So Ice Spice is signed to a creative partnership with Nicki's new label, Heavy on It. And side note, why do I feel like she just came up with this name like yesterday?
Yeah. I had no idea.
I feel like, because remember she was like, I'm going to release the name on the next episode of Queen Radio. I feel like in between those two episodes, she still didn't have the name.
Right.
Like, she just like she didn't have no fucking name for the record label. Because I feel like that's just how she worked.
Yeah.
So Ice Spice is signed in a creative partnership to Nicki Minaj's new label, and this information came out when the Princess Diana remix, which we knew was coming. We speculated it was coming. Pretty much knew it was coming. She and then she got caught in a little controversy. Her and her producer Riot, who the person who produced like all her music, her EP and everything, were on Twitter saying like, because you know they're doing this thing where all the fans do, they start buying multiple versions of the single. They released an EP with like 7 different versions of the song Princess Diana remix. They had a link tree with like 64 different versions of the song to buy. God. And Riot was like, I'm about to drop your Cash Apps. He was on Twitter saying, drop your Cash Apps. I'm going to send you money to buy the song. And then Ice Spice was like, if you drop a receipt showing you buy the song, I'm going to follow you on Twitter. Both of those tweets got deleted because people started fucking flaming them like, what the fuck are you doing? What has this become? And we have to talk about it, because if that is what the process is, does having a number one even matter anymore?
Exactly. Like, what is it weighted on?
It's like, not authentic. But what do you think about this?
Well, I think it's the same as like what is it called? Like the mass streaming. Like, oh, stream my song, like all this stuff. Like, yeah, it's not authentic. And then I also think that it's not fair to like other artists who actually like are putting out, not that it's not a quality song or anything, but like, you know, who are also putting out music who don't have a as much of a machine behind them or a huge fan base like this to be able to create this made number for them. So,
and the crazy thing is, the song debuted at number 4, so it wasn't even in the top 2 or 3. And fans that have been on Twitter talking about, I didn't spend my life savings, you know, trying to buy a fucking song.
Ridiculous.
Can you
people who don't know you?
You know what? I want to know, if you listen to this and you are one of those people, let us know, what do you do after the chart data comes out? Like, do you keep those versions, or do you like return them to get your money? Like, how does that work? Can you get your money back? Because I gotta be honest, I have not purchased music. I've had Spotify for years, since high school. I have not purchased music. I think the last time I did it was fucking Lemonade, because she didn't release it on Spotify. That was the last time that I actually like bought an album. So, but I would like to know. I really would. Like, what is it? What is it like? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have no idea. Please comment below if
comment below. Contact us. Okay, let's talk about Carisha. Another. First of all, can we talk about, first of all, whoever creative directed this shoot?
Yeah.
8. Because every time you see Carisha, she looks better. She just gives wealth. She's exuding not even just wealth. She's just leveling up every time. But she was featured in The Cut. She was their April cover star.
Yep.
And you know, she had a lot to say. There were some highlights from the article. New City Girls is coming. And recently she's cleared out her Instagram. The City Girl.
In.
Oh my God, locked in. She said she's single. She not with Diddy no more. She said she might write a book one day. And honestly, overall,
I could see that.
I want it. I actually really want it. I don't care if it's fiction or nonfiction. I want it. Okay. And I want to listen to the audiobook.
You want an audiobook?
I want it to be her reading the audiobook. Okay?
Yeah.
I would like to listen to 7 hours of Carisha telling me about everything. Right. Okay?
So boom, like
exactly like that. I don't want you to change a single thing. That is exactly what the fuck I want. Okay?
Yeah, I can see it.
But honestly, she just seems like a fucking joy. You know what I mean?
No, for real. Like, first of all, like going back to the looks, she ate I don't know, how would you describe this? Like in a 70s?
It's like mod, like very like 60s, like 60s, mod type of look. You know, oh my God, she just looks so fucking good. The hair. Oh my God.
Like, and I read how she has like a Coke bottle in a couple of them, and basically she drinks like a Coke every single day or something like that.
I love that.
And so like she was walking around set with her Coke, and they were like, actually, let's put this in the cover. And so that's why they ended up including it. But no, she seems like an absolute joy, and I think that just like having a 30-minute conversation with her is like, it could make your day.
I would literally kill for it. I would kill for a 30-minute conversation with her.
Yo, like she sounds like she is a riot.
She just seems like she's having a great fucking time, making great music. Her and JT just seem like they are happier and love each other like more than ever, and they are locked the fuck in. Like everything that I'm hearing from them, the music, the interviews, everything, like they are ready to go to the next level. Every performance that we see of them, it's just better and better. It's better and better. And you know what I think about that? That is what happens when you let people grow. That is what happens when people, you know, we're shitty. Yeah, like they were not good live performers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they went to work. They did the fucking work. They locked in, and look at what happened. You know,
I know.
I would never give up on them, even if they were still shitty performers. I would never give up on them because I'll be right there in the arena.
Right. I'm a ride.
Okay, and doing the dance too. Their signature.
Yo, that dance is so funny.
They are so fucking funny. I love them so fucking much. Okay, so let's talk about Meg, and I saved this for last with Hot Topics because she gets her first interview. For she says her first and last interview since the verdict, Tory Lanez verdict, and it's in her own words. Basically, she's on the cover of Elle magazine and looks good. And basically what she's saying is like, she's done talking about this. She says she's in a good place. She has therapy. She has good people around her. The new music
Yeah.
is coming. It's different. It's exciting. But she went through hell. And it was very fucking hard. And it kind of broke my heart to read this, you know? But
Yeah.
it also, like, at the end, I was like, I'm so happy what came out of it, but I hate that she had
She
to
had to
go through it at
experience it.
all. It broke my heart. You know,
No.
like, but she just seemed so much stronger and so much like better and just leveled up and just like is more intentional with everything in her life.
And I
And
think that's a clear sign of someone who's stepping into their next level of stardom is like being
hell
able
yeah.
to understand like when to take moments of pause, when
Mhm.
to say no to things.
Mhm.
And I like that she was able to do this in her own voice as well because it's like, okay, there's no like, I'm not cutting corners over here. Like,
Mhm.
this is it. And I'm going to leave my cards on the table. You know, this is my truth. You believe it or not.
And then I'm not talking about it no more.
Yeah, now leave me alone. Like,
Yeah.
for real. She's like, I gave you what you wanted. All right, now
Do
let's
not
move
ask me
forward.
about it again. Do not
Mhm.
ask me about it again. And I really I love that for her. You know, and I
Yeah.
think she's not talking about it anymore. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yep. I
We're
agree.
done with that motherfucker and I hope he is rotting in prison.
That
And that's
chapter
how
is closed.
that chapter is closed. We are done talking about it. She's done talking about it. Let's talk
Mhm.
about some new music. We
So
had
much
a
new
lot
music.
of new music. There's Ice Spice and Nicki. There's SZA and Doja Cat. There's Kim Petras and Nicki. Freaky T with Tia Corinne and Lotto. A new Lotto song. New Rico Nasty. New Coil Ray. Like there's just so much new music. What stuck out to you? What was like something that stuck out to you?
All right, I'll start off with Put It on the Floor. I've been having that song on repeat ever since
Really?
it dropped.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm into it. I'm into it. Like I said, I became like more of a Lotto fan in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And so I've just been going back to her old tracks, like listening to 7-7, what is it, like Queen of the South,
Yep.
her old album. But yeah, like I said, I feel like this is like a preview of like what type of energy she's bringing into the summer. So that song stood out to me. I liked the Coil Ray song too.
Me too. Okay, I'm
cute.
glad you said that. I was like, oh, like I downloaded that one. I did not like the My Body song, but I like the Bop songs. I said, oh, okay. Like I just love this for Coil Ray. She is just different. I really love that. I did not like Put It on the Floor. It didn't stand out to me. I didn't hate it, but it didn't stand out to me. It didn't stand out to me.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I liked the Rico Nasty song. I'm not sure if it's like a song that I will like continuously like go back to, but like I enjoyed the visuals. I liked the music video. Like I thought it was a good song.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Anything else that's standing out here?
Oh, you want to know what I hated? I hated this Kim Petras song. Oh my god, I hated this fucking song. It was awful. Kim Petras and Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
It was awful. I hated this song.
I
really did.
This one. How does it go again?
I couldn't even tell you. I just know I hated that shit. I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't get through it the first time.
What did you think of the Kill Bill remix with Doja Cat?
Very unnecessary. Cute, but very unnecessary. It was cute. It was good. I love Doja. It was cool, but it wasn't even, again, not a remix. What the fuck did you remix?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would have loved like a new verse from SZA, and who knows? She still says the SOS Deluxe is coming. We shall see. But I would be interested to hear if she changes anything with the song. You know, we know why she released this. She's been trying to get this #1 since forever, and she finally got the #1 with Kill Bill, but Doja Cat was not credited, which doesn't make sense to me. But I don't understand how this shit works. So good for her. She got the #1. I really don't care that much for this song. It's not my favorite song on SOS. I'm glad she could stop. Yeah. I'm glad she could stop pushing it. I thought the remix was fine. And I think if this is the direction that Doja Cat is heading in, as far as the way she's going to be rapping, if this is the kind of storytelling that she's going to be doing, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. But to me, it was just fine. You know what I mean?
No, I get that. I don't think it was necessary either. It was just like, all right, cool. I could take it or leave it.
Yeah. And I felt the same way about the Princess Diana remix. Like, it was good. It was fine. You know what I mean? Like, Nicki's verse was good. It was fine. I still like the original better.
Same. I feel the same way. I don't know, like I don't know what it is. I feel like Nicki Minaj's features have been stale in
Mm,
some ways.
yeah,
Like it's
I
not
agree.
it's like I don't know. No, that's a bad example. But it's like someone who's trying to like fit into the mold of like what is now versus what they are. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I know
And
what you mean.
so I don't know, it didn't feel like I don't know, the Nicki Minaj that I knew back in the
It
day.
didn't hit like the way a Nicki Minaj feature used to hit.
Used to hit.
It
Yeah.
didn't hold the same weight. There isn't the same excitement. And I think somebody had said this on Twitter, and it made me think. They said, ever since WAP came out, people have been trying constantly to recreate that hype that happened around it.
Mm.
But the way that
Mm.
WAP, like the rollout of that was so authentic. The music video
Yeah.
was so authentic. It was
Mhm.
incredible. Everything about that song, it deserved to go number one. And it
Mhm.
happened so authentically the way that that the rollout happened. It was a genuinely incredible song. And I
Yep.
feel like the people that I've seen, try to recreate this over and over again, it doesn't work because it's not authentic. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like there's something about this remix that just it feels like there's this ickiness surrounding it,
Yeah.
Because now it's like, and that's why I said I don't really I'm just hesitant about Ice Spice signing to Nicki Minaj's label because it does close her off from
Mhm.
so many
Many.
relationships that she could have that could be
Mhm.
so beneficial. And then
Right.
and to her as an and for her as an artist, like she's had this career, this come up that was like very like meteoric. It happened so uh quickly, and do we think that Nikki is going to be the one like that she can give Ice Spice the kind of development artistically that she needs? Like we know what Nicki Minaj is like as a live performer.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna say that that's who we should be looking to for like
Live
advice
performance.
for live
Yeah.
performance advice. Like I just don't know what she's gonna gain from this. You know,
True.
it
True.
seems it.
Maybe some enemies.
Yeah,
But
oh,
but
definitely.
did we talk about this about how there's like this conspiracy theory about how Ice Spice is an industry plant?
What? Who said
No, you
that?
ever heard that? Okay, so like apparently there's this conspiracy theory that Ice Spice is an industry plant because before Munch came out, she was already signed to a big record label, and
Really?
so they were saying that the reason why she's like been able to make this like huge run and everything is because people like having a like a come up story, and like
Right.
I haven't fact checked all of this, but
Yeah.
this was the conspiracy theory that it's like people want to see a come up and like see someone like different
Hmm.
come up, which I guess also will lead into like our main topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically there's like rumors that she's an industry plant and
I've
like
never heard that. I had no idea that she was signed to a label before Munch
yeah.
came out. That's actually shocking to me.
So
Cause
it's like none of this is like on accident.
oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. What did you
Hmm.
think about the Freaky T remix? Tia Corinne featuring Lotto. Now this is a song we've talked about before.
Yeah. I thought Lotto did her thing. I think again, like take it or leave it. Like
That's
it
how I felt.
wasn't anything that I was like, oh, like I have to return to this. But
Yeah.
I did think the music video was cute. It was
Very cute. It was
giving
Baps
Babs
inspired.
inspired. So like I like that because we also had been just talking about that as well.
Yes,
But yeah, I could have like take it or leave it.
I agree. I feel like it was fine. You know what I mean?
It's
Like there's a
fine.
lot of fine music. Like
It was fine.
nothing is really, and I'm not just saying from female rappers. I mean in general. There's just
Hmm.
been a lot of this is fine. This is
Hmm.
okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Music. Was there anything that we didn't put on here like music wise
Yeah.
that you
So
were like,
what's her name? Lola Brooke came out with a new song.
"Oh, that just came out, didn't it?"
Yeah, it
Like on
just came
Friday,
out.
I think.
Hmm.
Uh-huh. What
What
did
was
you
it?
think of it? It was called Free hold on.
Is
I listened to it.
Yeah, I just listened to it. Just relax.
Just relax.
Um, I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I think it is better than I guess some of the other. I think she's released like another single, right? As well, correct?
Since then?
Since since Don't Play With It.
Oh,
right?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so, like, I think this one was, like, this felt more mainstream-y to me, because it's, like, a familiar beat.
I'm so shocked that she got that, that cleared, that sample cleared,
Yeah.
from the tribe, but,
Yeah. I was
it
like,
was
this seems
fun!
like people are gonna, like, gravitate towards because it sounds familiar, but actually familiar some people have heard of, but
Mhm.
I don't think it necessarily, like, the content of it was, like, anything crazy. Like, I think it was just I think it's a way for her to start breaking into more mainstream music and other folks to hear her.
Yeah, I'm interested too. I feel like she's getting bogged down with this label of being a mix between Lil Kim and Foxy Brown, and
Yeah.
I just don't see it. There are the elements of that there, but
Mhm.
the hit making skills, like the hooks aren't that catchy.
Right.
I don't think she's as good of a lyricist. I'm not saying that she's not good at rapping. I think she's a
Yeah.
fantastic, phenomenal rapper. But I don't want her to feel like she has to, make music in the vein of them instead of discovering who she is as an
For
artist
herself,
for
yeah.
herself. Because people, every time she releases something now, that's what, and I see it on Twitter. That's what they're saying. They're like, "Oh my God, this is Foxy Brown's, like this is her son, like this is Lil Kim's son." And I'm like, I mean, you can say that about everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
everybody has an origin.
come on, like you can say that about all these girls. But the reality is Lola Brooke is her own thing. Like she's her own type of rapper, and I'm
Yeah.
interested to see her explore that. You
Right.
know, I want her to. I love that she stays authentic to her New York roots. I love that about her. But I
Mhm.
really, I do want to see her, kind of branch out a little bit from, being under the wing or trying to make music, I think, in the vein of what Foxy Brown and Lil Kim would have made in the 90s. Because, as much as we
Mm.
love it, I'm sorry, it's not the 90s anymore. That was 40 fucking
Yeah.
years ago, 30,
Yeah.
40 years ago. And
Mhm.
and what was popular then, the sound, the cadence, everything that worked then, it doesn't work now.
No, yeah, it's not the same
It's
for
not the
sure.
same.
Would you say that her feature on Sierra's song?
I
Because
did
I
not
don't.
like that fucking song.
It
I'm
was with
sick of
her
hearing that shit.
and what is it, Lady London? They were
Mhm.
both on it. What did you think about that?
I did not like that fucking song. I'm so tired of hearing it. Here's my thoughts about Sierra.
Who's she making music for anymore?
You know what? I'm so glad you said it. Because what the fuck is she doing?
What happened to Promise?
What happened to Princess of Crunk and B? What the fuck is this shit? I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this. I don't like Sierra's music now. I'm sorry.
I know, it's actually kind of annoying.
It's annoying how corny it fucking is. And I did not like this fucking song. It's been going viral on TikTok, and I can't, every time I hear it, this reminds me of how I feel about Tay Money. I have nothing against her personally. I don't know her, but her voice makes my skin crawl. When I hear this song, it makes me physically upset. Like I'm not even kidding. I fucking hate it. I get so upset if I hear this song.
No, I get it.
But I mean, you got a feature with Sierra. That's a big deal. That's a big deal,
though.
That's a big deal.
I mean, that's a way of, like, I guess, her doing something kind of different.
Sure, I guess.
But also, it's like, but who is Sierra?
What the fuck are you doing? I don't know what
audience
Sierra's
are you
doing.
reaching? What audience are you reaching?
I don't know what Sierra's doing. I just don't. And you know what? I'm not trying to figure it out because she's like 45. And not 45, but she's definitely in her 40s. She got 3-4 kids, happily married. I'm not her audience. Okay. It's not for me. I don't know.
I guess it never was really for me.
It wasn't. It wasn't. But I still fuck with that old shit.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, is there anything else, or should we just move into our main topic?
No, we can move into main topic.
You know what's funny? Because we had planned this out, and like for everybody listening, like when we like plan out these episodes, we do it usually like months in advance before we record it. And so it was very interesting that we had talked about like this is what we were going to talk about in May, this topic, and then this thread came out a couple of days ago, and I was like, oh my God, like we got to talk about that on the show. So if you don't follow The Darkest Hue, okay, so first of all, today we're talking about like colorism and fatphobia and texturism, in hip hop, and how women in hip hop are impacted by that. But if you don't follow The Darkest Hue on Instagram, first of all, what are you doing? Because dropping heat, but they dropped this thread, and it's actually very incredible about why light skinned rappers can give less and receive more. And I'm gonna read it, what they say. So basically, this is what they say in the caption: like, colorism and featurism rob us of so much talent. Since darker skinned women rappers do not receive the same industry push, it is harder to find their music if you are not intentionally trying to diversify the music you consume. The very first time Ice Spice went viral in 2021 was for the Bust It challenge on TikTok. Did you see that?
Which I didn't know about.
I had no fucking clue.
I was like, she did that?
That was crazy. I did not hear that, which further proves that desirability can certainly get your foot in the door and your name in people's mouths. Although it should go without saying, this is not a personal attack on Ice Spice. And we're going to mention a lot of people today when we talk about this. This is not a personal attack on anybody. We love all the girls, but we got to keep it real. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So this is not a personal attack on Ice Spice, who cannot help how she looks. We can like an artist, find them unproblematic, think they're hardworking and talented, and enjoy their music while still having critiques about how colorism has propelled their stardom. Ice Spice is not unique in the way that her look has catapulted her, and she seems herself to agree per the tweet in the second slide. She is yet another case study for how colorism produces different outcomes for women rappers. So I'm going to go through the thread and show you what they say. So this is a tweet from Ice Spice. November 8th, 2021. Pretty privilege is a real thing, and I'm going to milk the fuck out of it. Y'all be safe. First of all, why would you tweet? I'd be forgetting she's so young. But so they say Ice Spice is a 23-year-old Bronx-based rapper of Dominican and Nigerian descent. Ice Spice was recently applauded for the honesty she displayed in this past tweet. It is no question that Ice Spice has certainly taken advantage of her desirability. The next slide says, since releasing her hit song Munch, Feeling You in August of 2022, I cannot believe that was only barely a year ago.
I know.
Ice Spice has already received cosigns from industry giants like Drake, Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, and Cardi B. Ice Spice even scored an invite to Kim Kardashian's home because of her daughter North happened to be a huge fan. Recently, Nicki Minaj crowned Ice Spice the new princess of rap, a title that some fear may be too early to bestow, and I fucking agree, and we can talk about that.
I agree.
She also hopped on the Princess Diana remix, confirming Ice Spice as her successor. That's ridiculous. Ice Spice is easily likable, has a growing catalog of catchy raps, but so are the darker skinned, monoracial, Black women rappers who do not immediately or never receive the same industry push. The next slide. She just mentions a bunch of rappers: Scarlett, Young Devin, Big Boss Vet, Chica, Kenzo B, Mona Leo, Flo Milli, Callie, Doechii, Cleo Trappa, Ken the Man, Cash Kyla, Connie Diamond, just like a bunch of rappers. Then the next slide says the rappers in the previous slide are very accomplished in their own right, which is important to say.
That's true.
Limited mainstream recognition is not an indication of a lack of talent or motivation on their part. However, not having the look certainly stifles and delays commercial growth. For instance, Ice Spice has been able to grow her Instagram following to nearly 7 million. She has gained 4 million more followers since February of 2023. That was 2 months ago. Again, her debut hit, Munch, Feeling You, dropped in August of 2022. That's not even a year. Now, Flo Milli and Chica are the only rappers that I just mentioned with an Instagram following of 1 million followers. And Flo Milli's breakout hit, Beef, Flow Mix, an iconic song, was released in October of 2018. Can you believe it's been that long, actually?
Yeah, I was like, dang, I was in college. Like,
I remember where you were when Flo Milli dropped that shit.
I remember. Yeah, no. I was in the car, top down, California sun, playing that. I think I just got my hair done, going back onto campus. Yeah, I definitely remember.
I remember seeing it on fucking Twitter, the video, and I said, who is this bitch? I said, no, wait a minute. What's going on here? So then they say Chica, while having some mainstream markers of success, being Grammy nominated, for example, is constantly the target of online bullying about her weight and her looks. Cleo Trappa, who you may know because she's like always going viral on Instagram and on TikTok for teaching people correct grammar about how to use words, is another New York based rapper of Nigerian descent, appears to be best friends with Ice Spice. She even appeared in Ice Spice video for In Her Mood, which impressively garnered 24 million views on YouTube in just 2 months. That is fucking crazy.
Industry plant.
Shut up. Shut the fuck like Ice Spice, Cleotrapa is also personable, funny, and she has used her personality to attract a following since she debuted on IG in 2019. Cleotrapa's 680,000 Instagram followers, while very impressive, pale in comparison to the sizable following of her light-skinned peers are able to achieve. Other darker skinned rappers, New York drill rappers, because Ice Spice is a New York drill rapper, like Kenzo B, Scarlett, and Young Devin, have not even seen a fraction of the exposure. Moreover, it's not just Ice Spice is light skinned, she's also racially ambiguous and has the kind of body that opens the doors for women in the rap industry. Rapper Glorilla, while also light skinned, has been encouraged to get a nose job and a BBL because she does not have the coveted slim, thick body. Similarly, Brooklyn-based rapper Maya the Don has not been able to unlock a mainstream stardom, even despite her viral song Telfie. And if you know Maya the Don, she's a plus-size woman, you know? And then they say on the next slide, who gets to have a unique look? Now, a part of Ice Spice's meteoric rise has to do with her unique orange fro. While some are still debating if it's a wig, it is a wig sometimes.
I think it's a wig.
It's a fucking wig sometimes. It might be some of her hair, but like we know it's a wig. Ice Spice is currently the only mainstream rapper praised for sporting a natural-ish hairstyle. While she's been critiqued for her signature look, with comparisons to Annie and Cabbage Patch Dolls, her unique look has been able to set her apart from the rest. Then they say, could you imagine a short, kinky, 4C afro, 4C afro being similar type of asset to a darker skinned woman rapper? Probably not. Natural hair has not helped Chica's rise to the mainstream fame, and this is true because Chica does have dreads. Then they say consumers' expectations are colorist, and this is very true. Dark-skinned female rappers have to debut with the best, most refined version of themselves or risk obscurity and delayed success. There is no room for mistakes or beginner's mediocrity when you don't have the look. Consumers might even be more patient with you, allowing you room to grow and develop as an artist if your aesthetic is palatable enough. And they literally did this with Ice Spice, because remember that performance she had last year? That was fucking trash. And now she gets to be at Summer Jam, you know, with people who have been out much, much longer than her. Like, that's fucking huge, but they allowed her that room to grow. You didn't see her, the way the City Girls got attacked online for being terrible performers. Ice Spice didn't get a fraction of that when her bad performance went viral. Not a fraction of that hate. And you know why. Then they go on to say, decision makers in the industry are surely responding to colorist consumer demands and therefore pushing the artists who look like Ice Spice to secure a return on their investments, but they may also be responding to their own personal colorist features, i.e. Rick Ross' questionable endorsement of Just Britney. I don't know who that is.
I don't know who it is, but you remember the scene? You know what I'm talking about?
I saw this. I remember the scene from, it was like Love and Hip Hop or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And he was like, what did he say?
He was saying how like two girls like sang the same song, and basically because one was lighter skinned, he was like, I probably would go with her more so because of the way she looks aesthetically.
And that's crazy because then they pulled up pictures of his mama, and they were like, but really? So that's the end of the slide. But the last slide, and please like listen to this. If you can support the Darkest Hue creator, their Venmo is at darkest-hue. Their PayPal is darkesthue@gmail.com, and their Patreon is patreon.com/darkesthue. And it was created in 2020 by a dark-skinned Black college sophomore looking to shine light on the many issues affecting Black people who experience colorism and misogynoir. Today, she continues to lead important and difficult conversations online regarding anti-Blackness. This was so important, and this is a conversation that is so important. So I want to. There's even start. I know. Like So I have some questions here. So what do you think about like how do you think women in hip hop are impacted by colorism?
Well, I think that similar to what the like article or slides like highlight is that obviously you are able to garner more room to grow and be able to, I don't know, like experiment more than girls who don't have a chance like right out of the gate. So I think it definitely like plays to obviously certain privileges of folks that are unconscious bias that people have. It plays up to that. So that's what I think.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like 100%, there are all these girls who are making incredible music who constantly lose out
Hmm.
and who aren't given the same grace, who aren't given the same platform, who aren't given chance and chance to fuck up. Like I even check myself when I think about this kind of thing because we do this all the time when we talk about Sweetie. Like I just we talk
Right,
about her all the
right.
time about how like man, the music is not there, the performance is not there, but we like
But we
her.
keep going back.
But
We
we
keep
keep
going
going
back.
back. Whereas where I've definitely been like, you know what? I don't fuck with Cash Doll's music. I'm not gonna keep going back to it and supporting her. And I feel like in my own life, like I've been trying to check myself when doing that
Mm,
because you think about who benefits from it and who loses out. Sweetie and Cash Doll are two kind of rappers came up around the same time, you know?
mm,
And one of them is definitely more skilled than the other, you know?
100%.
But
Yeah.
who gets that platform? It's gonna be
Right.
Sweetie. You know, if you want to talk about if you want to put like I because they're the same age, like Flo Millie up against Ice Spice, think about the
Mm,
way and the things that we know Flo Millie deserves. And this isn't to
right.
say that she isn't talented. This isn't to
Of
say that
course.
she doesn't have a kind of success because I think when we talk about success, we have to frame it in a certain way. You know?
That's true.
Because it isn't just by one, standard. Flo Milli is
Hmm.
beautiful. She's gorgeous. She's talented, performing all over the world. Every time you go to one of her shows, every single person raps every word in
Right,
her
right.
cadence. She
Hmm.
has fans. She has hits. She has success. But do I think she deserves more? Yes,
100%.
100%. And you think
Hmm.
about all the girls who lose out because they feel like one they don't have this very desirable like look like they're not light skinned and I feel like as time moves on we as a culture are moving very slowly
Hmm.
like snail pace but we're inching away from that, you know, not as quickly as we would like to be,
From we're inching away from like colorism being like
like
at the
at the forefront, you know what I mean, like I think
yeah,
there I don't think it's like ever gonna go away completely. But I
yeah.
do see a lot of different women, being able to get their shine. Is it the same? Do they have the
Hmm.
same platform? No. Do they have the same success? No. And so it's very interesting. And this is no shade to Ice Spice. This is no shade to Sweetie, who's are
Right.
probably very nice people.
Of
But I mean, we
course,
got to be
yeah.
real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm wondering if like obviously this is based in history of like preference of color, but I'm wondering if like also this sense to gravitate towards especially like women light skinned women or light skinned artists in general comes from the idea that especially within the US, there are I don't want to say surplus, but more biracial children. And the idea of like seeing someone that looks like similar to you um, as the country continues to integrate is a wrong word, but
But I
like
know what
there's
you
more,
mean.
but you know what I mean, like as more biracial children are going to be ever present in the next like 20, 30 years especially, I wonder if that's just trying to kind of set the tone of the industry a little bit more of that like this racially ambiguous type of person.
See, I don't think so because I don't think that there are more biracial children than there are children who are not racially ambiguous or who are not
Hmm.
biracial, you know? I don't think that there are even though those are the ones that we see being propped up and being
Yeah.
given platforms. It's for that reason that they are being propped up and given platforms. It's because of the way they look. I think
Mm,
there are just as many, darker skinned children and
totally.
people who need the kind of like platform and the kind of support and the kind of like love and representation
Yeah,
that
for
these
sure.
biracial children get. I'm not saying that biracial children need to be like we need to throw tomatoes at them when we see them on the street, but
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
when you talk about the impact of it, it's not the same.
Right,
It's
right.
not the same when someone calls you a monkey or pulls your hair or spits on you as it is with saying, haha, you're biracial. You don't fit
Mhm.
in with us as black kids. You don't fit in with us as white kids. No one is saying that's not a struggle for you because finding struggling with identity is a big thing to struggle with. You know what I
Right.
mean? But it's not, you can't, it's, you don't, they don't get the same kind of vitriol and violence, especially online now, that
Right.
darker skinned women get. Think about the way that people even talk about them. It's
Mhm.
so different. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
and I think that kind of bleeds into our next question where we're talking about featurism and texturism and fat phobia, and we talk about who benefits from that and how are they I think how are women in hip hop threatened by that?
So when you say featurism and texturism, like featurism in terms of like the snatched waist,
Snatched
like
waist,
okay.
slim nose, long pretty
Mm,
hair,
hmm.
like there's good clear skin,
Yeah.
like those kinds of things.
Right, right. I mean, I think obviously the people who benefit from this is the folks who can afford to be able to make
Yeah.
enhancements
Yeah.
to their body in a way, like plain and simple. I think if you have a machine behind you that it's like, okay, we want you to be this and we can do this, like that's how we're going to package you. Because it's like we see the other people doing that as well. And obviously the folks who lose out on it are people who one, I guess just like simply appreciate their body and
Yep.
like don't want to make any alterations.
Yep.
And two, who don't have the means to be able to make those type of alterations to them.
Yeah. And I think it sucks because I love to see women like I'm very, body positive. Like I'm a plus size woman and I have been
Hmm.
my whole life. And that's been something that I've struggled with my whole life. And there were
Yeah.
times when I hated myself and I starved
Hmm.
myself and I wanted to like die because I thought like the way that people hate fat people is so deeply ingrained in our culture that it
Hmm.
just it comes out in so many different ways. And I think of
Right.
all the women who like Chica, and who just get like bullied online, and they're so vile and mean to the way that they talk about you. But even think about the way that people talk to fat people, like you are
Mm.
not human, or like you
Mm.
deserve less because of this. Think about the way
Right.
that people talk about Glorilla because she doesn't have this like Coke bottle shape. She doesn't have a huge ass. She has a big
Hmm.
nose, and they talk to her as if she's less feminine because of that.
Right. Right.
When you don't have
Hmm.
that ideal body or you don't fit into their mold or their standard of what a female rapper should look like, they don't treat you the same.
Right.
They
Right.
treat you worse and they talk about you worse. The way that they
Hmm.
describe you is worse.
Hmm.
And then you lose out in other ways because your image plays into so much of your success. So you're not going to be the ones who are getting dressed by all these brands. You're not going to
Right.
be the one is getting invited to all these like shows and doing talk shows and doing everything. You're not going to be the one who they're talking about on the radio. You're not going to be the one going viral on the internet and getting all this play because of how you look, even if there's
Right.
nothing wrong with it.
Hmm.
And for the people who do, it's think about how much they had to fight through to get there.
Right. Right. And I feel like almost sometimes it can be a double edged sword as well. It's like, you get the work done and then you're scrutinized for getting the work done as well.
Exactly.
And it's like, so nobody wins. So
Nobody wins.
nobody wins.
Nobody wins.
Yeah.
Nobody wins because
But
people
I
hate
mean,
women. People just hate women.
straight up, straight up. And I think that's obviously the importance of having with this resurgence of like female rappers being able to have that type of diversity, not only from a color perspective, but also the other features that you mentioned from size to the way that they carry themselves and like being able to be open about like struggles that they have. Like I think it's important to show the full spectrum because it's like to your point, there's someone who looks like them who is probably going to look up to them at some point and needs that representation.
Exactly. Like I think about the way that, or the like Missy Elliott, what Missy Elliott was for me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And seeing like
Mm-hmm.
this plus size woman be so larger than life and unafraid, completely unafraid to show
Mm-hmm.
herself off or to take risks and things. It can kind of be the kind of affirming thing that someone who struggles with their weight or someone who struggles with so much in life that comes with not looking or not fitting into society's mold of what women should look like,
Right.
especially for Black women, which is always much harsher. It can
Mm-hmm.
be very difficult to go through every day, you
Just
know.
yeah, just the everyday. No, I get
Fucking
that.
hard.
It's hard.
So I really think like, what can we do to like undo the harm caused by these issues? Like, what can we do as fans? Is
Yeah.
something I want to explore, you know? Because I
No,
don't
I
have
feel
all the answers. I don't
yeah.
know.
No, I feel like it's fair. Like what you're saying is like checking yourself, and I think also having exposure to communities like the Darkest Hue that call it out as
Absolutely.
well. Like that's what I think journalists or media websites in general are supposed to be, like the watchdogs, to be able to call out issues that sometimes we don't see underneath between the text. But I think also another part of it that I don't think something that we can do per se, but it's like continuing to uplift those women who are not necessarily being pushed through the mainstream,
Yeah.
especially within like record labels and like the people who are making decisions behind the scenes, like continuing to uplift those voices, because I think once they're in
Mhm.
positions of power to be able to have more influence and empower, the conversation, the narrative will shift,
Yeah.
because there's different voices and people who actually look like us in those rooms.
Absolutely. It does always go back to like who is making these decisions and what do they look like? Where do they come from? What are their life experiences? And
Hmm.
because that really colors all the decisions that you're going to make about what consumers are want and need, you know?
Right.
So
Right.
I definitely agree. I think this isn't a conversation that we can have in just one episode. I think it's something that's
Hmm.
constantly ongoing and constantly changing. And I'm sure it'll be something that we come back to with, maybe different ideas, one day.
Hmm.
But that's, I think, those are our thoughts on it.
Yeah.
A little bit deeper than we usually get, but
Yeah. No, this was
important.
good though. This was an
Important.
important conversation, and hopefully you all
Yeah.
are able to have more conversations within your friend groups about this.
Absolutely. You should be having conversations in your friend group about this. You should be having conversations with anybody about this. Like, one thing about me, if I hear somebody talking crazy, I'm going to go up to them and argue with them because you're being fucking stupid and I need to let you know in public. And I will and have done it and will do it again.
Will and have.
And we'll do it the fuck again.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Where My Girl's At, brought to you by Textured Air, a brand dedicated to celebrating Black girl culture, past, present, and future. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. It really helps. You can find us on Twitter at WhereMyGirlsAt2 and Instagram, WhereMyGirlsAt_TH. Make sure you check out our other podcasts, Does It Hold Up?, The Blacklist, and all the other content we offer on our website, texturedair.com. Until next time!